Welcome back, everybody. We've only got a couple more steps, both of which involve the visual appeal of the experience to help students make it a little bit more inviting from that I'm looking at something that I need to do type of brain processing. So this is especially apparent. One of the problems that we have with this right now, right? So I'm going to kind of pop in here and zoom out just a little bit so you can see the whole thing from a more visual perspective. If I'm a student looking at this, it's kind of one big massive blob of text. I'm like, whoa. Dude, that's a lot of reading. I'm not sure I want to go there with you. There's nothing really visually appealing or visually exciting with this, and it looks like one big wall of text. So we want to try to fix that. Now, there's a few ways we can do it. One way we've kind of already done, which is to make that initial portion. Let me blow this back up so we can see it more easily. One way to do that is to make this initial piece less cognitively taxing. So it's greeting everyone's out. You know, it's really light, really easy to read. It's not asking them to kind of process academic content from the start. So we're kind of shifting that brain into reading mode because we do want students to read academically and cognitively and learning wise. We want to invite students to read. The problem is if we design experiences in a way that they don't do it, then they don't work. So we don't get it. So it's not the reading, the amount of text is the problem. It's getting the students into that experience. That's the hard part. So we want to fix that though. So we've got this inviting part. That's good. But visually, this is just kind of one blob of text. So if I'm only working with Google Docs, one way I've found to work pretty well with that is to create some chunking. So now I'm going to zoom back out. What I've done here in this document is I've broken it down into 3 parts. And so rather than the brain having to process one huge chunk, it's 3 parts. And basically the way I've done that is I've inserted a 1-by-1 table, made the background black, and made the text white. And I'll show you how to do that in a second here. Other things I'd like to call to your attention here are 2 little things. One is that in a learning management system, or if you're doing this by email, this top paragraph is gone. So that's going to reduce some of the text. Basically, if I just take that out, that's much better, right? Less there. And then also, the thing that I would mention is I've tested this. I was a little concerned when I designed it, and in the learning management system that I'm using, this block is gone. When I designed it, I was concerned that my students were going to find it text heavy, but I've got really good completion rates on it. I've got really good engagement with the video. I've really liked the quality of my answers and the answers that the students are giving me. So the assignment is working, and that's the ultimate measure for me is it working? So I know the students are reading this stuff by the way they're answering it, by the way they're engaging with the assignment, by the wonderful answers I'm getting. It's working really well. So I feel comfortable with the amount from that experiential standpoint of, I wonder if it's too much text. Have the students try it? Nope, they're doing it. This is good. So this is working well with high school students at this level. However, let's go in and take a quick look. Your next task is to go into the sample distance learning assignment and just try to add a couple of visual breaks, maybe 1 or 2 visual breaks to what you've got. And I'll show you real quick how to do that. Basically, let me zoom in here to make this bigger so it's easier to see. I'm going to go in here and insert a table, and I'm going to make it 1-by-1. And then in a Google Doc, that will span the whole length of the thing. Then I'm going to type some text in here. Let's just put, I don't know, happy something, happy, word fail, happy, just an example. The first thing we can do here is I want to highlight that text, and then I'm going to come up here to hit the letter A that's got the underline on it, that if I hover over it, it says text color, and I'm going to select white. Now if I click away, I can't see anything. I'm just going to put my cursor somewhere in the box again, and I'm going to come over here. I can't see this now because I've got the ellipsis here, but you'll probably be able to see the whole thing. The paint bucket, that if I hover over that, it says background color. I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to select black. The last thing I do is, because we want to create a little more contrast here, I'm going to just come in and bold this text. So that's how you make a visual break in it. Now that you know how to do that, take a look at that assignment that you've crafted based on this and go back in and just take a look at that visual appeal. You might look at it and say, yeah, I'm okay with the amount of text there. I don't need to break it down. But if you do, see if you can create a little bit of visual chunks with your document. Once you're done with that, we'll come back together and we're going to talk about kind of a bigger leap you can make with designing assignments in a visual sense, which is to use Google Slides for this. We're going to show an example of how you could take this and do a Google Slides version. That's pretty cool. So I'll see you in a minute once you're done with this. Come on back and we'll jump into the next video.